what I'm going to do now, it's a combination with a stance switch in it, because like I really like switching stances. I think more of it's just due to not having the attention span for just one stance. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do setting up the right hand with a stance switch. So very similar to how George was just cutting the cage off there, I'm going to give him a route out. But this is when we're a little bit closer. Yeah, we're not at kicking distance like George was. Here, we're a little bit closer and he starts exiting out here. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting him off, but I'm just going to be very active with my lead hand. I want him to not want to be running into this. So as we're moving and George is trying to escape, I'm just being active with my lead hand, and then he goes this way, and I just boom, boom, and then I'm going to start funneling him out that way. Yeah. So I'm giving him an exit this way. And then, just as he circles out, all I'm going to do is take this tiny step here. Yeah? I don't need to do a big, drastic, like jumping on my feet to switch my stance. All I need to do is this little step here, and then he's putting himself in the path with my right hook or right overhand. I'm giving him this route out, and then I can fire this through. Yeah, cutting him off, I'm cutting him off. I start being active with my lead hand. He's got this route out, and see how he's almost ran into my southpaw stance. A lot of stance switching, you don't actually have to do anything. It's relative to their position. So if I'm stood here in this orthodox stance, I'm in an orthodox stance. If George moves there, I'm now in a southpaw stance. Like, I've not had to do anything. He's had to do a lot of movement. I'm just still in position. The advantage this has over trying to track him in your stance is if George was to take that movement out and that angle out, and I want it to stay orthodox, I would have to move to meet him. Whereas, because I'm just changing the position of my feet a little bit, I don't have to do anything. This is very quick. So I'm here, I'm giving him this route out, and then I can fire through with that right hook. Yeah. I'm taking a little jump forward with it for power. You don't have to. I just like doing that. But so I'm here. You can just do a nice long right hook where you don't move forward. Like this, that's fine. But see how my feet aren't doing a whole lot. I'm being more efficient here. George is using more energy than me, and I'm getting my damage off. Now, circling through, start getting my lead hand going. Yeah, and then you can start building your combinations off that. You can start shooting off that. It's up to you. I quite like the head inside single off this because I've brought my foot closer. Again, if I was going to shoot head inside single from out here, I would have to do a big step to shoot through, and it'd be quite telegraphed. Whereas if I come through here, I've already done that step. That step is being hidden essentially by my right hook. Again, now I can fire back. Yeah. So one more time, you can just start out in the open a little bit. Get used to like moving the guy onto the fence and cutting them off. Yeah, get used to just these little fakes, these little foot feints. And then you fire that through. I'll sometimes take a little step, but it's just imperative whenever you're moving forward on a hook, as weird as it sounds, your weight still needs to be going backwards, not your back hip. So there's one thing you've got to really avoid. If I'm going to try and like leap forward with a hook against George, I'm not leaning over myself and letting my weight go onto my lead leg. My weight is still sinking into my back hip, my shoulder is still turning backwards, and I'm still getting that weight transfer backwards, even if I'm going forward with it. One more time, here. And flying this through. Yeah, and you can do this from both stances as well, so it can become like a bit of a drill. So I'm here, I'm growling, you move across, and then I'm in this other stance, and George is starting to move, and I fire it through. Yeah, and you can just get used to doing both of those things. It's also really good because he's moving into it. Like Gaethje knocked out Barboza with this, like really stiffed him, because Barboza was essentially running full pelt into the hook.